Start the timer.
All right, welcome back. 100 Point Club episode 2. Thank you for the love on the first episode. Still, even as we're recording this, still getting a pretty big uptick. People are showing some love, getting a little interactive. Always love to see that. But as always, I'm Splasher Alec, and I'm here with Brian, Mind Over Brian. You know the drill. Let's get into it. We got a few things to talk about today.
We're here, man.
And it's champs time, baby.
We are here. Like,
yes.
if there was any more waiting, I couldn't stand it.
Oh, God.
We are literally here. I'm so ready, man.
All right, so just to give you a quick little breakdown of what we're doing today, we're talking about the Bootcamp that's happening between Optic, LG, Complexity, and
Envy.
On top of that, we're going to be talking maybe some poll breakdowns, give us our top 2 in each poll, predictions, a little something along those lines.
Who makes it to the weekend? Don't take anybody lightly. That's all I'm saying.
And also, I think the thing that we're going to start with, FaZe going through a role change. We're seeing some switch-ups over there. We're going to talk about that. I think we're both in agreement on...
It's weird. I don't... I get why they did it.
Yeah.
They're not having that much... They're having, decent success. And, I mean, they it's just... I don't know, man. Replays has been rolling with the AR, but I mean, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's a big question mark for me.
I feel like it's weird to do it this late in the year, but also if you felt like it was necessary, I would rather you pulled the plug and just went for it.
And it's even worse because they're in the hardest pool.
Yeah.
One of two things are going to happen. Either they're going to drop the ball and might risk not making out of groups, or they're going to finish top 6, top 4.
Yeah, or this could be the adjustment that they've needed.
It's that Kentucky basketball tweak.
Yeah, the 2014.
Yeah, the little tweak that got them all the way to the championship game. But
yeah, I think that change will go as far as replays goes. He's incredible at what he does. He's a great AR.
Which I've heard he was doing phenomenal.
And, we've seen some tweets saying that he's got the snapper with the sub. So
I'm interested to see what Attach does in the flex.
Yeah,
I think I'm more interested in that than seeing what with what Replays does as a sub. So I think we'll just have to wait and see. He made some big plays at stage 2 with an AR. He's the sole reason they won that CTF against Optic.
But the thing is, I think he's just a dynamic player.
I mean, that's
regardless
true.
of what he has in his hands.
He is literally a goat.
Yeah, he's the player coach of the CWL. If TP was it before, it's Replays now. I think it's going to be a good thing because if they made the switch, they made it for a reason. They were confident and saying, this thing that we're doing is good, but it's not really pushing us over the line. If this is what takes you over that, if they get you over that hump, absolutely.
Maybe we actually see the full potential of Priesta.
That's
which,
the biggest...
if that happens, FaZe is making a run. Don't. He's a goat.
I still think it goes as far as Reap goes, because if he adapts, that's going to be huge for them. But if Priesta is playing up to it, it'll be like what we saw with TK earlier in the year. If you have Chino, Lamar, and Kenny playing as best as they possibly could, no one was beating TK.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same situation with FaZe. You're going to get production out of Zuma.
Yeah, if Priesta and Replays play well, and Dylan, if Attach just plays like he has and plays a phenomenal in search like he always has, if all 4 of those guys are clicking, that's a scary team.
Yeah.
It's been a frightening team.
They've been great all year, really. They've had some missteps. They've had some bad losses. But
they got to that slow start, but, they showed that on land.
4th at Dallas, then win stage 1. It wasn't that long ago that they were doing that. They're still really... And we saw it even, at stage 2 playoffs. We saw that they were a good team.
They just have to win a respawn. That's the thing. They win a respawn, they're practically winning the series because, they're arguably the best search team in the CWL, in the Pro League.
Yeah. I could agree with that, I think.
So, we're going to just have to see how well, because they play a very similar role as far as, hard points go. They play a lot like Optic does. They're just out there to try to, we're going to slay you off the map.
Yeah.
And if that's working, and then they just win S&Ds, I think this is primarily a move from a standpoint of hardpoint and respawns.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not really going to change anything in S&D.
I feel like they're so good at it.
It wasn't broken. Why fix it?
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion. I think it could either end up really bad or really good for them.
I'm still on the side saying it's going to be good.
Yeah, me too.
Just because I have faith in those 4. They haven't done anything so far for me to look at it and say that's a question mark. I'm not sure why they're doing that because I trust all 4 of them as individual players, and that's not the case on some rosters. Like there are sometimes if somebody else had made this change, like Envy, for example, who a team that hasn't been great already, if they were telling me like, well, we're really going to switch things up, like one, you probably needed to, but why did you wait this long?
Yeah, why are you waiting until Champs starts Wednesday?
Yeah,
like this is going up on Tuesday, like Monday. It's going up on a Monday.
This is Sunday night for when we're shooting.
This is going up Monday, and Champs is literally 48 hours away from that. Like, that's a little bit close, don't you think? To kind of like, oh, maybe this will work a little bit better than what we've done since we made the new change to the new roster.
Yeah. But with these guys, they've been together all year. The communication is there. They know how to win. It is just a matter of, are they going to take a respawn? And
if they do, like, they're going to go as far as their respawns go.
Yeah.
It's just like Optic. They're going to go as far as their searches go.
Which recently hasn't been very far.
They've got EG in their pool. One of those 2 teams has to win a search.
Things are looking up.
Both of them are terrible. Both of them have been bad. And it doesn't make sense to me. Like, how has EG, after starting the way that they started in search, how did that just like...
With bevels.
but I mean, it worked. It worked. But bevels, you're kind of... Yeah, bevels from the first episode. We know now, guys. We know now. Don't worry.
I can't believe how I've just completely... I talked about that for like 2 weeks. I was like, oh, they just made a game-changing sign. Like, that's going to be amazing. And then they were great at search. And then... a month later, and I forgot who they signed because they've just been god-awful. All right, next on the board, we've got the Bootcamp situation.
I like it. I like it a lot. I've seen people say that they don't really like what's the point of boot camping? Like, I get why you're saying that, but at the same time, it's like you're not going to get good practice for LAN by playing online. So this is literally the best way to do it. Bring people, in this case, all the teams that are like in the Texas area, bring them all together and just play LAN. Like,
yeah, I think LG is flying in. I don't think they have.
Yeah, I think some of Complexity also flew in.
Yeah, but Complexity's headquarters are there.
Yeah, so. I just don't think all of them lived there.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I mean, Envy's there. Yeah. Envy's there, Optic's there, and it was in Optic's offices.
Yeah, so, I mean if they have the space for it,
But like I'm saying, like there's no downside to this really. Like you're practicing. The beta's been out all weekend, and these 4 teams have just been like Octane tweeted. He was like, it's awful to watch people play the Black Ops 4 beta while you're playing 30 maps of World War II a day.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad for them, but at the same time, like those 4 teams, they need it. I'm kind of interested though. I wonder what the tension was like with Formal and Scump in the same room. I know they're kind of over it, but still at the same time, you've got to think there's like that little bit there.
I'm not so concerned about that, but to play on the other side, because I do think it's a good thing. All in all, I do think it's a very positive thing for especially those teams. Optic needs help in search. There's no
100%.
There's nothing else to say.
And I hope they scrimmed it. I hope they did. I would assume they would, but I hope they did.
You have to. There's you can't just avoid it and hope it's going to be better going into champs. It's not going to happen. But LG,
they needed to help in a lot of things.
Yeah, they just needed to learn how to play the game again entirely, which is sad to say for those 4 guys. Like, they're great players, but it just wasn't working. And they weren't horrible. Like,
they had moments. Like they finished 3rd.
Yeah, that was great. But I'm saying like stage 2, like they weren't terrible, but they weren't very good either. Like they weren't elite at anything.
I mean, they didn't make playoffs. Like,
and then Complexity, I think that's a team that they're going to get better with as much practice as they get.
It was especially with how much young talent they have.
And they played elite talent, like playing Optic and Envy. Sure, like these teams, Optic probably being the strongest of them out of the bunch.
Consistency, yeah, on a consistent basis, yes.
And, I mean, they just went like what 10-3 and
11-3,
11-3 in the stage. Like they're good. They just are super shaky at search. Then it's costing them super hard.
They're also and CTF. CTF's kind of shaky too.
Yeah, but I still trust them to be able to figure that out. I think that's just reps. I think they figure that out faster than they figure out search.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So like they're probably the top team out of that group, but all in all, they're all gaining something from it. My question is, who do you think is benefiting the most?
That's tough. That's really tough. Honestly, it would really all depend on what they're scrimming. If they're scrimming search, I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say that Optic's not benefiting the most. that they're benefiting the most. Honestly, though, it would be either Envy or LG in my opinion, because those two teams, I mean, yeah, Complexity hasn't really shown like we're an elite team, and I mean with the players on there like Dashy and Blast, they're young. Like we don't really expect them to. Well, I mean we expect them to be great because they're in the pro league, but like we haven't been like, oh, these guys are just they're gonna dominate. Yeah. But like LG, like Slacked has performed well all year. John has been a beast for 4 years. JCap's been in.
Yeah, you can't even tell JCap.
JCap's been in the COD Champs Finals 3 straight years and was like one of the best boots players in the world.
Yeah,
in the early stages.
There's nothing anyone can say to Kaplan about Call of Duty at all.
And then Formal's been one of the best ARs the last 4 years. Like, I honestly do think LG would benefit more from it, because like all of these guys are skilled enough to play it to win at any level on any team, but they just haven't figured it out. And I think this is going to help them. Like, this is what we need to do. And I don't know if they've gotten. They still have a coach, right?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, but like I think LG is going to benefit a lot more from this, just because they have the players that are just going to be like, it's all tweaking with them. And like, it's all just like figuring out what are we going to do in this situation when this happens and all this other things. And I think playing on LAN is the best practice you're going to have. So if I had to choose between the 4, it would be LG, but I think Envy and LG are really close to benefiting the most from it.
I definitely understand that side of it, because I do think that Envy and LG were like the closest rosters to the imploding. If you're going to pick somebody out of the 4 to just fall apart at champs, it's probably going to be those two. And the reason I don't think it's Complexity, I don't think they're at risk, even though we've heard there's some tension on the team. It's not necessarily the greatest situation. I don't think a team with Doug on it is going to lose focus heading into champs.
Oh, no.
Especially with the way that Dashy's been playing. I think they're safe. I think they're in that safe zone. But again, I think to your point, they are young, and it's a rep game for them. And I think that's where they're going to benefit, because they are playing against Formal. Yeah. They are playing against guys that are going to kill you off the map.
Yeah.
You're playing against the guys that are going to come in, and TK can win hard points and they can get outslayed. They've shown it all year.
Yeah.
Like they can get in 20 kills under and still beat you 250 to 210 because they're just staying in the hill. They're trading at the right times.
Yeah.
Playing Optic, Dashy's going to have to shoot.
You're going to have to get kills. Like
he's obviously he's really good at the game, and you're expecting him to kind of be that like center AR piece to the team. He's going to learn to get that consistent, which is something we've had questions with him in the past.
Mm-hmm. Same with Blast.
Yeah, Blast to a degree as well, but I think that his role isn't necessarily the focal point.
Yes.
But I do think that they all, especially like Doug, what can you expect from Doug?
Except for
what numbers are you predicting from Doug?
I mean, you're looking Doug. I think if you're wanting this team to like make any type of run, you're looking at everybody obviously being around a 1.0. Dashy probably being around the 1.1, 1.2. Blast being around the 1.1. Ricky probably staying around 1. I think if you get Doug up to like a 0.95, up into that 1.0, 1.1 range, I think you're good.
And that's why I think especially this group that he's playing against, is so beneficial for them. Because you're already, like, they have a solid core. Like, they haven't been bad. But can you keep Doug going and not have a theory moment? Can you not have like a 0.7 on the event?
Against some of the best slayers in the game.
Yeah, and that's nothing to discredit theory. Like, he makes the right calls.
Yeah, he won the gunfights when he needed to.
Yeah, like he did great stuff all year, but it's just hard when you have a guy that's not near that 1.0 range. Mm-hmm. Seth has been struggling. We've seen that. Karma was saying, it's been 2.5 months or something. We're still seeing stuff about his KD on the Reddit forums and stuff.
Yeah.
Clearly, whether KD doesn't determine it all, but it does have a factor in how successful. Where's your cap, and where are you going to lose?
Yeah.
Is it going to be that you're not trading well? Is it going to be in the objective time? For a lot of teams, it's just you're not getting enough kills to keep yourself in the game. Mm-hmm. And I think that can happen to Complexity if they let it get out of hand. Mm-hmm. And Doug can go for 40 against FaZe.
I mean, he's done it. Yeah,
he's done it. But he's also had games where he starts out and he's like 7-23.
Yeah,
so that's where I think Complexity wins the most. Is they're getting these good reps against teams that can outplay you, can outkill you. They can win in a variety of ways. But specifically playing against Optic, you're gonna get outslayed 90% of the time, and they're the best hardpoint team in the game.
Even as inconsistent as they have been, they're still finding a way to win them, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I do think though, just one quick interjection about my point. I think yes, Envy and LG have the best chance to benefit, but they also have the best chance to not benefit from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like more or less, I think LG is more on the brink of just collapsing right now. I don't know, obviously. I don't talk to, like, JCap is not in my phone. Like,
yeah. I mean, and it's not even like, though these guys hate each other and it's not working out. No, it's just like play styles aren't meshing, and it's noticeable. Like, this is just not coming together the way that you would expect it to when you have a caliber of guys this good. These 4 guys specifically are ridiculous. They are some of the best players in Call of Duty, period. And so for this roster to be underperforming, you're like, what happened? Like, you guys, you fixed it for a while. You had an event where you looked incredible.
it was like we're and then the event happened and we're like, we're good. We're finished 3rd. And then we're back to we're again. Makes no sense. But I mean, I guess we're just going to see.
And I hope LG does pull it together, because I want that storyline with the Optic LG thing to always be looming and threatening at champs. I think that's the most entertaining thing we've got on the board. But yeah, right now it's a coin toss, and I don't know how I feel about that. That sucks for the scene more than anything else. So now we're gonna get into
let's go. What we've been waiting for.
Yeah, the entire reason that I wanted to record this. Originally, we were just gonna upload straight from champs this Friday. When we got there, maybe watch it day 1 and then give you guys like an update situation. But I started thinking about the pools and how much uncertainty I had in some of the teams. So, got Brian over here. It's late as hell on Sunday night, but
whatever.
We're doing it. It's okay. So let's start it. Pool A.
Who you have coming out? Pool A, we've got, if you guys don't know, we're going to go through the pool with who all is competing, and then I'll give my top 2. So Pool A, you've got TK, Epsilon, Heretics, and Lightning Pandas. This is a tough pool. Because, not necessarily from the fact of the one. It's pretty obvious and it's pretty evident, in my opinion, that TK is going to be the number 1 team to come out of this pool.
Yeah.
I don't really think that there's going to be a team that's going to surprise them. The number 2 is where it gets interesting, because Epsilon, obviously, didn't have a very good time at all this year. I was trying to specify something. I was like, oh, they haven't played well all year. But Heretics has proven that they can win. They had a little bit of a roster shakeup, but, I mean, they're here. And then Lightning Pandas is full of people that probably should be in the Pro League.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Lightning Pandas, they didn't look great at the LCQ.
No.
We'll say that.
I don't think that's going to be an issue, though.
But yeah, I think these guys, especially for an open bracket, or not open, but an LCQ team, that's 4 guys that you look at and you're like, maybe alongside Elevate, those are the 4 or 8 guys that I would say, wow, that really surprises me that they weren't already in the Pro League or didn't qualify another way.
But I do think it'll be TK, and I do think it'll be Lightning Pandas coming out as the second team. I think that is going to hinder on the first match of champs. First match of champs is TK Lightning Pandas.
Yeah.
If TK comes out and smokes LP, Heretics will take that number 2 spot. But if LP can play with TK for a majority of the time and kind of like be like, yeah, we're coming in this as like we might not win it, but I mean.
Yeah, the clear underdog, but if you can take them to a map 5, you start to feel a lot better. You're
like if they can push them to a 4th map, maybe even a 5th map, I think Lightning Pandas is pretty much a clear cut to be the number 2 team. So I'm going to go with TK Lightning Pandas as out of my pool.
All right. I think I'm going to agree with you here, but I will say if Heretics gets rolling, I don't know who they play first. I mean, Epsilon.
I would assume Epsilon, yeah.
But let's just say whoever it is, let's say if they end up playing Lightning Pandas after they've already gotten warmed up, that could be bad. But I think the slaying power in Heretics is legit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But Lightning Pandas, man, I can't go against them.
You can't go against it.
Yeah, as a unit, like as the 4 players that are on that team, when I look at them, I'm like, they're the clear cut here. Maybe Epsilon would give them competition on a different year, but they just haven't really shown anything to me this year. I think Lightning Pandas got 9th at one event. Was it Birmingham or something like that?
Something like that.
They've had a couple of good placings this year. Maybe not amazing, for those 4 guys particularly, but they've shown that they can compete and really keep up with it.
And part of that might also be because they haven't been able to scrim the top competition.
That's a lot.
The Pro League teams really seclude the
they just want to play each other because they
know that they have this
they've defined
we're here. Yeah. But yeah, so you're gonna say TKLP?
I think TKLP is the easy choice there.
Okay. Pool B, we've got Rise, Tainted Minds, Lethal Gaming, and Brash. I don't really know much about Brash. I will say this: I think Lethal might be the number 2 team in this pool. I do.
I've been debating that for the last
Teddy is going to take a respawn off of somebody. Teddy Rex is taking a respawn, and I think it might be Tainted Minds.
Yeah, I definitely think that they're. I think Tainted and Lethal are like
they're neck and neck for that too.
And it will come down to their series ultimately. It will who's going to win that. But Tainted Minds went on such an upswing.
Like if they play like they did at Anaheim, they'll be in the top 2.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that. We saw that one Sunday. We haven't seen it since. Maybe because it's champs, you'll be like, all right, let's go.
Now it's time.
Yeah. Maybe it's time to pull out something. This is the time if you haven't done anything or done a certain strat. Yeah. If you've gone all year without doing the certain strat, and it's champs. Like if you're gonna do it,
if you've got something,
you got to pull it now.
You gotta go.
Yeah. But I do think Lethal's gonna end up taking a CTF out of him, and you're not beating Teddy Rex in Search. Not Tainted Minds is not beating him in Search. I think it's gonna be Rise. I mean, we haven't even talked about Rise because there's not a reason to talk about Rise. Yeah, so I think it'll be Rise, and I think Lethal's gonna come out. I think it is. I just don't see enough in Tainted Minds to think that that's gonna be a thing.
I want to agree with you. But I look at Tainted Minds and I'm like, I've seen it. I know they can do it.
Yeah.
But can they replicate it?
Can they do it?
They've done it. Can they do it again? And I want to say that they can, just because there's not a strong respawn team outside of Rise. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going to keep them afloat. They've had the practice against everyone else.
That's true.
Zone and Lethal haven't necessarily gotten that. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to take Tainted Minds here, but just by a hair, because I'm a big fan of Teddy, man.
We're going. If Tainted Minds is going to win it, they're going to win it on all 3 respawns.
Yeah,
if it goes map 5s, Lethal's taking that second place.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Pool C. Pool C: Red Reserve, Mind Freak, Ghosts, and Zone. Zone GG, I guess, is what they would go by. It's another one of those pools where it's kind of clear cut. Red, I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, the number ones across the pools really aren't that difficult. Yeah. Maybe Echo Fox LG.
And maybe FaZe.
And then FaZe Complexity.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a tough pool. Already.
Yeah, that's just difficult. But
Red Reserve practically going to finish first. It's another situation. Like, Tainted Minds and Mind Freak both. Like, both of them showed on that one Sunday at Anaheim that we can play Call of Duty with these people, but they haven't done it since. And Ghost, I mean, you have a world champion on that team. With Parasite, and you can't. I don't think you can go against him in this. This is the biggest stage, and he's won on it. So it's going to be Red and Ghost, in my opinion.
I'll agree with you on that one. Yeah. I thought you were going to pull it on me at the last second and say Mind Freak, but no, I'm with you on this one. No. I think Ghost is just they're good. Like there's no question. Maybe they're not top 3 good. As far as the event goes, maybe they're not elite, but they are good. And I was going to make the same point. You've got Parasite, and I don't see him letting up around this time of the year.
Definitely not.
And Mind Freak, talented, but I really think that Ghost roster, they've been there for the most part. Like they've been knocking on the door, and going against my own logic with the Tainted Minds thing, but I do think Tainted Minds is a little better than Mind Freak.
Even though that was proved otherwise in the league.
In the league, yeah, sure, that's fine. Like, I'll take it, but just judging these guys off their top potential, I think Tainted has a higher ceiling. I think Mind Freak is more consistent.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
By a long shot.
Definitely.
But ultimately, I'm going to go with Ghost.
And even though Mind Freak's more consistent, they're still not consistent.
they're not consistent.
But they're more consistent than Tainted Minds. All right. Pool D. Now this is where it kind of gets hairy.
This is where it starts to get interesting.
It's not as hairy as the ones as we start going back, but Pool D, you've got E United, Splice, EZG, and Team Sween. Oh, Splice. Oh, gosh. Come on, man.
I want them to be good.
I want them to be good, too,
so
because
bad.
I like Bance and Jerd so much. Yeah. And I like Mad Cat, too, but...
I just have a lot of respect for that team.
Still mad Tommy's not on that team anymore.
Yeah, it's Josh now?
It's Josh. Yeah. I mean, vet for vet, that's fine. That's fine with me, but I like Tommy a whole lot.
I do. We've discussed. We have respect for Tommy.
Yeah. E United, they've played so well.
Yeah, I think they're the clear.
They're probably and this is going against. They're probably the best team that hasn't won an event this year. That's a pretty warm take. Because Optic is there. That's a pretty warm take, and Optic consistently beats them.
Yeah,
but I still think E United's the better team that hasn't won an event this year. Red Reserve is another. Never mind. I might take that back. That's also tough though. That's a good argument for another day.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But at some point.
Yeah, United's gonna finish first in that pool. I can't say Splice is gonna finish second. EZG is good. They are good, man. And I think they're gonna beat Splice. I think I'm going on this trend of picking the teams that are in that 3 slot, except for Lightning Pandas. They're in the 4 slot, obviously. But like the teams that are in the Pro League, man, the bottom half of the Pro League is just. The bottom fourth of the Pro League is just like, not really that. They haven't played well. So I think EZG is going to come out of this pool.
I want to agree with you because EZG is my sleeper. Like, if anyone's going to disturb their pool heavily, I think it is going to be EZG. But damn, man, like, don't make me go against Bance.
I don't want to go against Bance. He's great. Bance and Jared both.
Yeah, Bance is clearly my favorite EU player.
Yeah.
Probably ever. It's him and Zero. They're right next to each other.
Zero's probably my favorite out of the two. Scraps is coming, though. He's on his way up.
They make me laugh. Don't get me wrong. Scraps and Weskins both make me fucking die.
If Scraps follows through with what he said and makes a YouTube channel after Champs, it's game over, man.
Yeah, he's taking over.
He's taking the world over. Him and Weskins both.
But I know Splice hasn't been good.
Except for at Birmingham, when the equipment wasn't good either.
When everyone was pissed off. But I think I don't know.
That's fair, man. If you go with it, that's fair. Because we're about to get into a really hard pool, so you might want to make it as easy as yourself as you can.
Yeah, experience would tell me that Splice is going to take this.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to pull it together. Mm-hmm. This season has told me that Splice is not pulling it together.
That's pretty right. That's pretty good.
The COD vet in me, the guy that's been around since MW2, is telling me, don't go against Splice, you're an idiot. And then there's this guy with the brain in the mouth that's like, EZG.
I mean, hey.
Knocking on the door.
Splice was in BO3 champs. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And they were competing in IW2. But.
I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot for this, but I'm going to take EZG.
Okay. All right, now, here's where it gets fun. This is getting hairy now. Pool E. Oh, God.
Doug's winning champs.
God. This is tough, man. You have FaZe, Complexity. Or, no, let me read it. You got FaZe, Doug,
there you go.
E6, and Moratory, as known as the former GGEA Orange team.
Yeah.
This is tough. I still haven't decided.
I wonder how they feel about that.
Yeah,
no one just calls them Moratory. It's always Moratory, the old GGEA roster.
Orange, yeah. And this is the only pool that I'm sitting here like, man, I don't know. Like, to me, it's all going to depend on how the role switch goes with FaZe. Like, if it goes well, FaZe will go. I can't say no against Doug. Like, the man's going to bring it. I think it's going to be tough to say. Like, if Doug goes out on day 2, he's going to be heartbroken. Like, gosh, this is so hard. I'm going to say the role switch is going to work with FaZe. Mm-hmm. And they're going to finish. They're going to finish first in the pool. It's going to be close. It's going to be a tie. They're both teams are going to be 3-1. Or 2-1, my bad. There's not an open bracket. I think both of them are going to be 2-1. And I think by the skin of their teeth, Complexity is going to make it over Moratory. I don't think E6 is going to do it. Oh, gosh. I know this is where it's happening.
Yeah, I think the top 2 in FaZe and Complexity are probably the easy choices.
Yes, they're the safe.
They're the safe bets because, again, it comes down to the practice thing. I know I've gone against that with EZG and Splice because, clearly there's a difference there. But you just, looking at this pool, there is no real easy choice other than probably FaZe. Like, they're probably going to come out relatively unharmed. Like, they'll have some close games, but I think they're going to close them out because I think that maybe they lose one, like you said, but I think the others, they're not going to have that hard of a time. But the reason that this is the pool of death is because Moratory, look at them all year long.
They finished top 16 once, didn't they?
They've got several
close.
good places.
Yeah. And
E6, that's another team of people that you're like,
they could potentially have fought their way into the Pro League.
Yeah, if you rearrange some of these rosters, taking out some of the teams that didn't perform well at stage 1 or stage 2, you could easily sub these guys' names on to some of those rosters, and then that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
those guys there.
So,
and that's what makes this pool so damn hard.
Yeah, is there's not that one team that is just not gonna do it.
honestly, Morituri might be the most consistent of the other three outside of FaZe. Mm-hmm. And that might push them over the edge in reality. But I'm going off hype. I'm going off top ceiling, and that's complexity in FaZe.
I'm going for Doug. Doug 2018.
Doug for president.
Not Doug's my president.
Doug Dynasty.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Moving on to Pool F. F is not as bad.
Yeah, I don't really see the...
Unilad, Envy, Le Bleu, and Mentality.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty clear-cut.
I'm pretty sure the top two are pretty clear, yeah.
Yeah, Unilad, Envy...
Even though Envy hasn't played all that great, I think you got Unilad going 3-0, and then Envy 2-1, and the other two, one of them's going to be 0-3, and the other one's going to be 1-2. Like, it's going to be that clear-cut, everybody wins the ones they're supposed to win.
I think Le Bleu could make a disturbance there, but I just don't trust that Unilad will drop to him, and I think that's the big one. Is anyone going to get a win off of Unilad?
And I don't think that's going to happen.
And I'm on board with you there. I don't think that's happening. Maybe Envy, but I don't think they're dropping to any of the other two.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose Le Bleu could beat Envy if they're not. I mean, because Envy hasn't been great. Like, we'll say that.
Yeah.
They haven't been amazing. So they could drop games here. But I have at least some faith in them to be able to close out what they should be able to close out. And this, in reality, isn't that hard of a pool. If you're looking at some of the last three that we've talked about,
yeah,
you kind of got the easy road here. I think Unilad and Envy are the favorites.
It's pretty clear.
Oh, my swipe's back on Tinder.
Lit. Maybe I do too. Hold up. This is not a sponsored video. But don't want to swipe right on you though. Hey. Yes, I do. Let's go. All right, now let's go into Pool G. You've got Echo Fox, Luminosity, Vitality, and Havoc. It's another kind of tough pool, but this is the pool where I'm gonna be like, it's another one like Pool E, but I don't think Echo Fox is gonna do it.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
I think your top two. Oh, I think Vitality. I think that's where we're gonna have our disagreement. I think LG is gonna finish at the top, but I think Tommy's gonna bring that team. If Tommy brings Vitality out of pool play into the bracket and Splice doesn't,
yeah, he's officially the GOAT.
He's officially the greatest of all time. Like, sorry, Damon.
Yeah, you took 3 Walmart baggers to COD champs and made it out of
the
pool
Gamepedia website doesn't even know what one of their names is. Like,
and no disrespect to them.
No disrespect.
Obviously,
They've played great.
Yeah, like they have to be good. They've made it this far. They've done surprisingly well for themselves.
Yeah, they're the only team outside of the Pro League that's got their own camo.
It's all jokes. Like, we're taking a little bit of shots, but like seriously, we do respect these guys. You've clearly got real faith in them. Havoc though, fastball, great,
proven. Look what he did last year with Panda.
Even then, Remy. I think he's the X factor of any team that he's on. Really, I mean, people call him a jetpacker a little bit, but like, okay, whatever. This is the first year out of jetpacks. He's here. If he's going to change that, it's going to be now. I've got faith that team is going to make it happen. Yeah, I'm going with him. I think by just a hair, it'll be LG and Havoc, because I'm just not a huge fan of this Echo Fox roster.
It goes as far as Aqua takes them. Yeah. And if Aqua's not playing well this weekend or this week, they're not going to do well, because who's going to backpack? Donnie? No.
Donnie can.
Donnie can, but will he? Probably not.
Consistently? No. He can go. He can save you a map. He'll hit that like 21-9 hard point start and get you streaks and get you rolling. Can you close it out? I don't really have.
You
that
have
much
to have Aqua to close them out.
Yeah, and I just don't see it happening.
LG and Vitality. Like, I can't go against my boy Tommy here. Like, that's just me.
I respect it, but I'm sticking strong on Havoc.
That's fine. All right. It's tough. It's tough. That's a tough pool. That's a tough pool. All right, here we go. And the last pool, Pool H, is
last but certainly not least.
Not least, definitely not. The team that finished 7th, 8th in a very disappointing Stage 2 playoffs. You have Optic, you have EG, you have Elevate, and then you have Team Supremacy. Oh, God. I just didn't think about how hard this one was going to be until I remembered that EG's terrible at search. Optic's going. Like,
yeah, I have full confidence. Like, I don't even think they're going to drop a respawn.
I don't think so. Like, and I don't even, honestly, if they're going to drop a search, it's going to be to EG and maybe Elevate. I don't think Supremacy is going to take one off of them. But
I could see I could see them losing the S&D to Elevate, but I don't know, man. EG, they don't look much better than Optic and Surge. No. So I'm going to go with the unknown factor on that one.
I think they'll end up 9-1 or 9-2 in pool.
Yeah.
As far as map count
I think that's
goes.
reasonable.
The second one, I think it's hard not to go against EG. Like, I know their Surge has been bad, but they've been good in Respawn.
And they're another team like LG that, like, they showed that they can do it.
Like, they literally, the first, out of the gates, like, took the CWL by storm.
Yeah, and that's not a bad roster. It's what? Apathy, Assault, Aches, and
Silly. Yeah.
Like, it looks a little mishmashed together.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a roster that was put together as like, oh god, we need players.
Yeah, but
that's not a bad thing. Yeah.
And to be fair, that's 4 of the more bendable players, in the league. I mean, maybe not Assault. I can't really comment on how like flexible he is and what his strengths really are, because I've only really seen him in one role. But with Silly, like, he's a guy that'll do whatever to get it done. Aches, like,
I mean, he's been a consistent force. Yeah,
he's done everything essentially.
And App, you saw what he did last year at Champs.
Yeah, like, Apathy is just all around a fantastic player, a great guy as well. Probably a better human than he is player, and he's elite. Like, really, really rooting for App, no matter where he's at. And I think that's gonna define the differences. I just think the star power on EG is higher.
Yeah,
I like the Elevate roster. I think they have potential. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe EG just collapses.
We'll see. We'll just have to see. That certain situation with how we both projected it actually moves. I believe it moves Optic and LG to the other side, to opposite sides of the bracket. I think. I'm not sure how that works, how the brackets work. I know that H and G, one plays 2 of each other. Like, one of H plays 2 of whatever the other letter is. I'm blanking on my backwards alphabet, but that'll avoid that Optic LG match in winners round 1, which for Optic's sake, I'm pretty sure they'd be happy about, because
I mean, it depends on how this boot camp has gone. Yeah. Have they learned how to play LG yet?
Have they learned how to play Search?
Yeah, that's a lot of it too.
But I mean, we'll just have to see. But that's what I think is going to happen. I think that's I think both sides of ours are pretty fair brackets.
Like, I don't think there's any big reach.
I don't think there was like a hot take or anything like that.
Yeah, no, it would have been different if we were like, you know what? Mind Freak,
Team Sween is winning.
Yeah, Sween's coming in and they're
Sween is going to 3-0 United. Like,
I think the hottest take is Doug's winning champs.
Yeah, that's not a take at this point. That's more of just like a Doug has said it so many times that people are starting to finally believe it.
People are like, wait, hold on, he might be on it.
Wait, Doug's actually going to win champs, guys. Like,
Jesus Christ.
No, but Doug's a great player. Don't get me wrong. That's all. It's no disrespect to Doug. He's a phenomenal player. I mean, when he gets to a grand final and a national championship, he's 1-0.
He is undefeated in National Championship Series.
If he gets there, he wins it. 7 OTs and Search and Destroy, or CTF on Summit. Remember it like it was yesterday.
That series infuriates me more.
I'm sorry we brought that up, Aches. I'm sorry. Don't roast me if you watch this.
That is probably the most mind-blowing series I've ever watched in Call of
Duty. It's a great series, though.
Anyway, I do think EG should be like the clear cut in that pool. I think that makes it safe.
Yeah.
But again,
Elevate's got the power.
Elevate's got like a real shot at it. Like, they are a good squad.
It's going to be another one of those 3-0, 2-1, 1-2.
I'm curious to see though if we're destined to get something wrong. Somebody's going to shock us.
Yeah, I mean, like, we picked differently, so somebody's going to be some 4 team, number 4, like,
yeah, they're probably going to like
it's just
going to
like
rip or something.
Yeah, like Vitality might actually win champs. Like, how mind blowing would that be? Good God.
But it happens every year. Like, one team breaks out, you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
And typically they make like the top 4 somehow, and you're just like, how did this even?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm watching.
And this would be the year of all years for it to happen.
For how much talent is up there at the top, we keep, like I said early on, like, these guys that didn't have pro player experience, and they didn't have these constant scrims against pro league teams. It's probably not going to matter for some of them.
Yeah.
Someone's going to come out and catch fire.
And it's also one of those situations like, it's like they've never, like, the teams that are not in the pro league kind of have a leg up on the pros, because like the pros, all of their gameplay gets broadcasted.
Yeah,
every team that didn't play in the pro league has watched those broadcasts. Whereas I don't know if the pros have watched VODs of the teams down there.
There's not many available other than like the LCQ. Like
so, like maybe you've got to step up. Like if you can just win gunfights and know where the people are going to be, I mean, that's a little bit of an advantage for those 3 and 4 LCQ teams. Like, so I mean, it's up in the air like it always is. And if there's going to be a year, I mean, look at Seattle. Like all of the powerhouse teams were in losers bracket. Mm-hmm. So like we could somehow see that happen again.
I think I'm going to go back on my statement, though. I did say EZG was like my one dark horse pick to make a run. I think I'm going to change that to Havoc, because I blanked on who was on that team when we were talking about it last time. In the last episode, I didn't process who was on that team. Thinking of M. Ruiz, like last year.
Great year.
Solid year. Plays. Beezy, good. You just don't even, I'm not super worried about him. He handles his business. Mm-hmm. But like I said, Remy being the true X factor of any team that he's on, in my opinion, I think that pushes him forward. I think he has ridiculous potential in Call of Duty. I think he's one of the more unsung guys. You know, a lot of people don't know about him, but it wasn't that long ago that he was dominant. Mm-hmm. He was playing with Nagafit or whatever, and like placing like that team, whatever that was. I don't remember the name of them. They were good. They were ridiculously good. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he's that far removed from it. I think he still has the talent and potential to do it. And I think this squad suits each other pretty well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think I'm going to officially switch it up. I'm going to put Havoc as my team that could really shock a lot of people. So I think that's going to do it for us this week. As always.
Well, not this week, but.
Yeah, actually, that's true. Yeah. I messed up.
Champs is this week, brother.
Yeah. That snuck up on me.
We're here.
Well, also, I was thinking Sunday to Monday as well. So, whatever. But it's after midnight. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm wrong. We'll see you on Friday. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight, though. You can find me on Twitter at CounterCap. I don't know if I said that last time. Find him on Twitter at MindoverBrianYT. It'll be in the description. I'll leave everything nice and wrapped up for everybody. Thank you all for your support so far on the channel. Really appreciate it. We'll see you Friday, and it'll be from Columbus. And that's super exciting.
That's where we're at, man. We're here. I think it's going to be a blast. So thank you guys for watching again. If you have any things you disagree with us about, like, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think
about the Havoc pick or something? Like, go for it.
Let's talk. Let's have some fun discussion in the comments. Like, I'd love to see what people think about what's going to happen in just a little over 48, like a little under 48 hours. I don't know. It's past midnight. I'm tired. So
yeah, and if you're seeing this before Champs starts and you have something you would like for us to talk about still, I'm not averse to doing this again, getting another episode up.
We'll do something real quick.
If somebody has a topic you want to talk about, throw it at us. Like I said, on Twitter, you can find us, talk there, leave it in the comments, whatever you want to do. But I think we're done here. It's been a fun one.
I've actually had a lot of, I think I've had more fun in this one than I did the last one, and I had a good time.
Last one was a good time, but I think we were more well adjusted this time. We were ready.
We were ready. We were ready. I think the first game jitters are out, and
there it is.
We're in playoff form now, like we should be, because Champs is here.
We've got to bring
it if they're going to. So,
all right, we'll see you guys on Friday. Take care.